Hello, you awesome Robloxians. This is VISIONPSYCHE7, and I hope that you and your family and loved ones are all doing fantastic. Today I'll be telling you an old classic tale called The Woman and the Bogey Beast. Oh, I wonder what a bogey beast is. Is it scary? Is it silly? Or maybe it's mischievous? I think we'll soon find out. Okay then, let's begin. There was once a woman who was very, very cheerful, though she had very little to make her so, for she was very poor and lonely. She lived in a little bitty cottage and earned a scant living by running errands for her neighbors, getting a bite here or some food there as a reward for her services. So she could provide for herself, and she always looked as spry and cheery as if she had not a worry in the world. Now one summer day, as she was walking, full of smiles, as always, along the high road to her hovel, what should she see but a big black pot lying in a ditch? "Goodness me!" she cried. "That would be just the very thing for me if I only had something to put in it, but I haven't. Now who could have left this here in the ditch?" And she looked around expecting the owner wouldn't be far off, but she couldn't see anybody. "Well then, maybe there's a hole in it," she went on, "and that's why it's been cast away. But it would do fine to put a flower in it for my window, so I'll just take it home with me." And with that, she lifted the lid and looked inside. "Mercy me!" she cried, amazed. "If it isn't full of gold pieces! Oh, my luck!" And so it was, brimful of great gold coins. Well, at first she simply stood stock still, wondering if she was standing on her head or her heels. Then she began saying, "What a shock! Oh, but I do feel rich. I feel awful rich." After she had said this many, many times, she began to wonder how she was going to get her treasure home. It was too heavy for her to carry, and she could see no better way than to tie a piece of her skirt to it and drag it behind her like a go-kart. And she began to drag her treasure along. "Perhaps I'll buy a grand house and just sit by the fire with a cup of tea and do no work at all like a queen. Or maybe I'll bury it in the garden and just keep a little bit in an old china teapot on the chimney piece. Or maybe oh, goody, 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 I feel that grand I don't know myself." By this time, she was a bit tired of dragging such a heavy weight, so she stopped to rest for a little while. She turned around to look at the treasure to make sure it was okay. And lo, it wasn't a pot of gold at all. It was nothing but a lump of silver. She stared at it and rubbed her eyes, and stared at it again. "Well, I never," she said at last. "And me thinking it was a pot of gold. I must have been dreaming. Oh, but this is luck. Silver is far less trouble, easier to mine and not so easily stolen. Them gold pieces would have been the death of me. And with this great lump of silver, why, I can—" So she went off again, planning what she would do with all that silver, and feeling as rich as a queen. As she continued on, dragging her lump of silver behind her, she stopped again to rest, and turned around to see if her treasure was safe, and she saw nothing but a great lump of iron. "Well, I never," she said again, "and I mistaking it for silver. I must have been dreaming, but this is luck. It's real convenient. I can get many penny pieces for old iron, and penny pieces are a real deal handier for me than your gold and silver. Why, I would never have slept a wink for fear of being robbed if it was gold or silver. But a penny piece comes in very useful, so I shall sell that iron for a lot and be rich, rolling rich." So on she trotted, full of plans as to how she would spend her penny pieces, till once more she stopped to rest and looked around to see her treasure was safe. And this time she saw nothing but a big stone. "Well, I never," she cried, full of smiles. "And to think I mistook it for iron. Oh, I must have been dreaming. But here's luck indeed, and me wanting a stone terrible bad to stick open the gate. Oh my, but it is a change for the better. It's a fine thing to have good luck." So, all in a hurry to see how the stone would keep the gate open, she trotted off down the hill till she came to her own cottage. She unlatched the gate and then turned around to unfasten her skirt fabric from the stone which lay on the path behind her. Aye, it was a stone sure enough. There was plenty of light to see it lying there, as peaceable as a stone should be. So she bent over to unfasten the skirt fabric when, oh my! All of a sudden, the stone gave a jump and a squeal, and in one moment it was as big as a haystack. Then it completely unfurled itself and laughed and cackled and squealed like a naughty, mischievous boy. The woman stared up at it in awe, when suddenly it turned around and glided away. The woman stared after it until it was out of sight. Then she burst out laughing too. "Well," she chuckled, "I am in luck. Quite the luckiest body hereabouts. Fancy me seeing the Bogey beast itself, all to myself, and making myself so free with it too. My goodness, I do feel that uplifted, that grand." So she went into her cottage and spent the rest of the evening laughing and laughing over her good luck. The end. Well, it takes a really special person to go through something like that and keep calling it good luck. What do you think? It didn't matter that it wasn't gold, it wasn't silver, it wasn't iron, and it wasn't even stone. She found the good in everything. That takes a lot of courage and strength. What a woman. And that, my dear fellow Robloxians, is the tale of the woman and the Bogey beast. So what did you think? Did you like it? Please let me know in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer. And there it is. So have a wonderful evening or day, and I will see you the next time we have a fireside story. All right, guys, take care, and thank you for joining me.